Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, and we're here to work on the hood finally. Thank goodness we got this 1970 Chevelle hood. It's been painted blue for a long time, but the painter was having all sorts of trouble with the stripes. Apparently the paint he had wasn't working too well, and every time he would go to lift up his tape, it would pull the stripes back. So he finally got some good paint. He finally got some stripes laid down. They look really nice, and Paul is going to come over and polish the hood out today, so I'm waiting for him. In the meantime, I've got grill parts, so I'm going to get this sucker on covered. And Larry and I worked on getting the old trim off of the grill yesterday. So here's some of the old trim, and we'll get that on the grill today. So yeah, we got a little bit to do finally. So here we go. Let's get it uncovered and let's get to work. I tell you, it's really exciting to be where we're at right now with this 70s Chevelle restoration. I mean, it's come a long way, you know, getting the motor in there, getting it running, all the accessories and whatnot. And then we've taken it to a couple shows already, one in Maryland, one in Northern Ohio. And there's always a little few details you rush to get done. And it's just so much fun to kind of go back and correct things now to get it right. And as you can see, I'm working on the grill today. And we've still got a piece of tape on here that's got to come off. I've got to put the, I figured it'd be easier to put the trim on around here and leave the tape on, protect it, because then I've got something solid to push on. We'll see how that goes. And then I've got the headlight bezels all ready to go. So I was just, had my wax and tar remover, and I was doing my final cleaning on here to get rid of all the rubbing compound, polishing compound that was left over. Double check to make sure I got all my nuts and bolts and screws right. I know back over here we were trying to get things lined up before we went to the Northern Ohio Chevelle show, and we had stuck a body shim in here just to pull this down because we didn't want some parts rubbing. And people were making comments about that. I've got the body shim out of there. It's bolted up correctly. This light was a little crooked, and of course people always pick on you and make comments there. We got that straightened out and whatnot. So I'm getting kind of giddy now. We're getting this thing really close to getting the hood on it. And I was just looking for the grille emblem, the SS emblem, and I ran across this box. You can see it's a GM box. Looks like Mike paid 85, maybe 80 bucks. I don't know what, but this box has never been opened. So part number 3977563, 70 Chevelle SS grill emblem. This box has never been opened, and maybe I'll wait till Mike gets home so he can open up the box, or maybe I'll just be mean and open it up and put it on there. So anyway, let's follow along today as we work on a little details and talk about things that I've got fixed up. All right, talk about some crazy details on these Chevelles. You know, this little trim piece here, we saw it on original pictures of the car, so that's how we knew it needed to be on the car. And I think General Motors discontinued this piece. But you only see the little trim here once the bumper goes over top of that. But one thing you got to watch on these Chevelles is make sure you have this bent up a little bit, because if you can see, that's bent up a little bit. The painter thought it needed to be straight, and he went ahead and straightened it out. And of course, when we bent it, we cracked the paint, so he had to touch that up. But the reason you have to do that is because the way it fits in here, it comes in right, excuse me, this comes in right in the corner here, and I'll take a close-up picture of it. And if you don't have that bent out right, it's not going to foul the contour of this lower valence piece. That's painted blue also. So little crazy things you learn along the way when you're restoring these cars. So let's get this on the car. When you put this together, you got to make sure you get all these screws in. So you got a couple screws down here, and then of course you want to pull this piece in here. And you can see there's a bolt hiding up there, and there's a bolt hiding there, and there's a bolt. Let me see, another one. Oh, one hiding up there. So all these little bolts you got to get in there to make sure that thing sucks up against the fender there. Oh yeah. Here we're on the other side, and I haven't put the part on yet. But a couple things you might want to make sure that you got your speed nut here and here and here. So you got that all taken care of. For the screws, you got one here and you got one here. Okay. And then I would suggest, if the painter got a little crazy with made it thick paint there, which this painter did, we're going to have to sand that off a little bit more, because I was having trouble on the other side getting it to pop on all the way. And then also be careful right in this area, because that's that bend I was telling you about that's on that piece. So all right, let's keep going. I know I might be sounding like I'm busting on painters today, but really they are godsend. It's definitely a skill I wouldn't have to just lay down this beautiful paint, and dealing with all the chemicals that they deal with. Oh, I tell you. But anyway, I've scraped off these pins here, and then re-cleaned it because all the dust came off, and then we'll see how this pops on better now. I tell you what. The nuts, the bolts, the clips, the hidden things are just endless on this 1970 Chevelle. And unfortunately, I didn't take this apart, but you know, I'm putting it back together. And one of the things I noted, I just happened to, there's a little elbow piece that goes up here. And I said, my God, where is that? So I'll have to find that. But the one thing it got me thinking of, all right, went over and looked at this one we had sitting on the shelf. How you like this? Somebody had a Mary Kay Chevelle out there, because I'm telling you what, the way this is painted, it looks, I mean, it looks factory correct. Or whoever did it really masked this thing off really well. But I mean, look at, there's even paint back here. But anyway, what I wanted to show you was when I went over to grab this and take a quick look at it. Now, Mike sent these out. These are the original ones that were on the car. He sent these out to the chromer, and they did a nice job. But one thing he probably didn't remember is, where did he put that little clip that's on the bottom? And I didn't even know a little clip went on the bottom there. But now I know, because I went and looked at this Mary Kay thing that he bought for $125. Thank God for Mary Kay. And it had the clip on there. So now I've got the little clip on there. So when I put this on here, it'll actually snap into the bottom. And thank goodness he had another one of these in white sitting on the shelf. Jesus, he paid $250 for this one. But thank God he had these, because I would have put it on there and it'd have been kind of probably rattling around and making noise when we went down the road. So, you know, I'm trying to show you what I find out, what I know, and hopefully it'll help you put this front end together. Well, here's another thing you got to learn about these clips. Apparently, when you push them on here, there's two little buttons here that hold them on there, and you got to peen those over. So I very carefully put this on an anvil and tapped it till I peened it over, and it kind of gets in there. And look at that. There's even I tell you, GM put part numbers on everything. There's a 69 on there. Does that mean it was made in 69? Who knows? All right, so this time the clip didn't fall off when I put it in there. And of course you got two screws here to tighten everything up. So There you go. There's your lesson on headlight bezels today. Who knew? I'm sure Chris White and Rick Nelson knew. And Jerry McNesh. Who's Jerry McNesh? He's a Camaro guy. What's he know about Chevelles? Why is his name always mentioned? I don't know. All right, there you go. We got her all together. 2 screws in here, a little tab there. We got our T3 headlights on there, and everything's looking snazzy. All right, now we're putting on the centerpieces. And you can see Paul in the background. He's polishing that hood to a mirror-like finish. But even these parts have part numbers on them. This is 3958326. GM put part numbers on everything. And the way we took them off the old grill is the part number was on top. I don't know if that's right, but that's the way we took it off the old grill. And these go on real easy. They just push on. So kind of line it up in the center. And then voila, just push it on. They're a bitch to get off, but they're easy to put on.